history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy
Causing the storms Thursday.
Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling her.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. You see the sum of your men.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 4.
Now it's for the 3 people killed in a fiery crash, including a 3-month-old boy. What we're learning about the victims as family members speak out about the tragedy.
Plus, the building explosion that damaged hundreds of homes in the Spring Branch area. The big announcement the company in charge of the building just made about its future.
And the rush for tickets to see Lizzo at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo after they sold out. What you need to know if you want to see the hometown star live.
We begin with the crash in Northwest Harris County that killed 3 people, including a 3-month-old baby boy. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Christine Noel.
And I'm Keith Garvin. We first reported the crash 24 hours ago. We now are learning more about the victims from their family. We're also learning about the driver charged in connection to the crash. Channel 2's Hannah McKenzie is live with the latest. Hannah.
A community definitely in mourning this evening, you guys. I'm here on the street where 2 of those victims lived, and taking a look behind me, you can see just cars lining the streets, and it's been pretty busy all afternoon with friends and family just coming and going to that house in honor to pay their respects.
3 generations killed in a fiery crash Wednesday at the intersection of Antoine and Beltway 8. Piedad Soriano, her daughter, 29-year-old Diana Escobar, and her grandson, 3-month-old Ricardo Escobar Jr.
He was a happy baby ever since he was born, always smiling, and they didn't deserve to die the way they did.
Yesenia Aguilar now mourning the death of her family members. All 3 killed after another driver ran a red light, slamming into their minivan. A 4th passenger, 11-year-old Valeria Soriano, was thrown from the vehicle, suffering serious injuries.
That's Diana's sister. She's in a critical condition.
The driver at fault, deputies say, is 30-year-old Gregory Allen Smith. He's now charged with 3 counts of intoxication manslaughter, says Sean Tier with the district attorney's office.
He's being treated for the injuries that he sustained in this crash, but we have full confidence that he will recover and face the charges that are already there.
Smith was out of jail on bond for 2 different charges, one of which is a DWI arrest last year.
This individual is not someone who needs to be out on the roads and in our community while these cases are pending.
These charges just the latest in a long list of criminal offenses for Smith, a pattern Aguilar and the rest of this grieving family find irreprehensible.
We want justice. We want him to pay for everything he did, for the pain that he's causing the family.
Now, Now, one of Smith's bond conditions, according to this paperwork, is that he have a breathalyzer installed in his car. But taking a look at this form, this is his conditions of release and supervision. That same requirement right here, but now no longer has the X in that box, but is signed by a judge. So we're trying to figure out what exactly happened there. Coming up tonight at 6, though, we're going to be talking about the jail time that Smith could now be facing. Reporting live in Southwest Houston, Hannah McKenzie, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Hannah, thank you. New developments now in the last month's deadly explosion in Northwest Houston. Today, Watson Grinding and Manufacturing Company and Watson Valve Services filed for bankruptcy. According to a statement from the company, the move will allow the business to work through a plan to reorganize. Watson Grinding was forced to close shop following a propylene gas explosion back on January 24th. Watson Valve, which is near the explosion site, is only able to operate at 20% of its normal capacity. 2 of the company's workers were killed in that explosion. According to the ATF, there was a propylene leak in the facility and arcing within the electric system of the building that sparked the explosion.
The embattled president of Texas Southern University is speaking out after the Board of Regents voted to fire him. He says he was blindsided by the decision and is calling it a witch hunt. The board accuses Austin Lane of trying to hide excessive entertainment expenses and failing to report an admissions fraud scheme. Lane says those accusations are not true, and he plans to fight every allegation against him and save his reputation.
I have a record that speaks for itself. I've never been terminated from anything. I've never been accused of anything. You can go out and check and see. So I don't have anything to hide. I'm an open book.
Lane says that during his 4 years at the school, he's had to make staffing changes. He says he believes the board's decision may have been motivated by the changes that he's made. Channel 2's Andy Sirota will have more from Lane coming up at 5. We now want to talk about our weather. Sunny out there, but also been chilly.
Yeah, it's a little deceiving when you look outside. You think, hey, it's sunny, it might be warm. Not the case, Frank. It's been quite the plummet of temperatures out there.
I know, right church, wrong pew, right?
Yes.
It is chilly. Look at this triangle energy camera. Generally right around 50, but the winds are brutal. That northwest at 24, 17, 12 in Pearland, 50, 52. I've got 49 degrees right now in Conroe, and it's only going to continue to dive as we go into this evening and the overnight. Look at 46 at 7. If you're walking the dog, hang on to the leash. That wind is tough. So some chilly dogs, 44 at 8. We're all clear. This system moving out of here. But did you wake up to something that looked like this on your car or your truck? I know. I'll explain exactly what happened there and why it came down when it did, coming up in our next half hour. In the meantime, jackets certainly this evening. We're going to wake up to the 30s in lots of spots. I'll have your morning lows straight ahead and some weekend changes you need to hear about. All coming up. Christine?
All right, Frank, looking forward to it. Thank you. And of course, you at home, you can track the temperatures wherever you go with Frank's free forecast weather app. Just search KPRC in your app store to download.
The government has filed hate crime charges against the man charged in the El Paso mass shooting. That's according to the Associated Press. The suspected gunman, 21-year-old Patrick Crucius, is accused of targeting Mexicans in the August attack, which left 22 people dead. The federal indictment comes as El Paso marks 6 months since that shooting.
President Donald Trump celebrated his acquittal today. In his first official remarks since the impeachment trial ended, he went after his accusers in appearances at the White House and this morning's national prayer breakfast, where he came face-to-face with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest now from Washington.
President Trump claiming victory today at the White House, holding up the headline proclaiming his impeachment trial acquittal.
We could take that home, honey. Maybe we'll frame it.
While slamming the investigation into his actions in Ukraine.
It was evil. It was corrupt. It was dirty cops. It was leakers and liars.
The president heaping praise on his allies.
You did a fantastic job.
Belittling Senator Mitt Romney for being the only Republican to vote against him and hurling insults at his critics.
Adam Schiff is a vicious, horrible person. Nancy Pelosi is a horrible person.
Accusing Speaker Pelosi of pretending to pray for him.
She may pray, but she prays for the opposite. But I doubt she prays at all.
Just this morning, the pair came face-to-face at the National Prayer Breakfast, the president using the stage as a bully pulpit.
They have done everything possible to destroy us.
Speaker Pelosi insisting today she does pray for the president.
I pray hard for him because he's so off the track. of our Constitution, our values, our country.
While raining on his victory parade.
You're impeached forever. You're never getting rid of that scar.
But surrounded by supporters, President Trump's only apology was to his family.
For having them have to go through a phony, rotten deal.
Clearly ready for battle and looking ahead to the November election. President Trump is still facing a number of other investigations and said today he wouldn't be surprised if Democrats tried to impeach him again. In Washington, Alice Barr, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
And now to Decision 2020. The chairman of the Democratic National Committee is calling for a recanvass of the results of Monday's Iowa caucuses, which were riddled with technical problems and delays. And results are still trickling in, with 97 precincts reporting Pete Buttigieg is in the lead, and Senator Bernie Sanders behind him by 0.1%. Senator Elizabeth Warren is in third place. Former Vice President Joe Biden is in fourth, and Senator Amy Klobuchar rounds out the top five.
Many fans of A-Leaf's own Lizzo, who were hoping to see her live at the rodeo, found out the truth hurts.
Yeah, tickets for her concert at this year's Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo sold out minutes after going. Yeah, just like that. After set sale to the general public when they went on sale. Channel 2's Bill Barajas is live at NRG Park with what options there are for fans who could not get a ticket today. Bill.
Well, the tickets actually sold out in about 20 minutes, and it didn't take long for them to end up on websites like StubHub and Vivid Seats for about 3 times the price.
Why men great till they gotta be great?
Lizzo is one of the world's hottest stars. The rodeo, one of the biggest stages. So there's no surprise that tickets sold out in just minutes. Devar Ghiashi has season tickets to the rodeo, which means he paid for his tickets well in advance and didn't have to wait in this morning's virtual line.
I know it's selling out fairly quick, and there's a lot of hype around like certain artists such as Lizzo, Chance the Rapper, and other like country artists. But I think it was a good choice getting like the season pass.
Unlucky fans who weren't able to score tickets and want that fresh photo and bomb lighting will now have to shell out some cash. Even Ghiashi, who wants to attend the concert, says the high demand has caused him to question whether he should go or try and make some money.
I know like Truth Hurts, she moved to Houston. She went to University of Houston. She came there a couple times.
Tickets can now be found on websites like StubHub, Vivid Seats, and Flash Sheets. Ticket broker Jack Stopnicki says he secured 20 tickets this morning.
You got to understand, majority of the seats are already sold. Everything in the lower levels is sold on a season ticket basis. So all you're talking about that went on sale for the 17 shows 2 weeks ago and the 3 shows today is the 500 and the 600 level.
Stopnicki says the market value on those tickets has now tripled.
Well, Lizzo looks like right now we're probably standing room are probably going for about $75. And then upper level seats are starting around $100. And then seats in the lower level are going for about $150.
And we looked on websites like StubHub. The lowest price we could find before news time was about $40 for standing room only and about $800 for the lower level seats. Live from NRG, Bill Barajas, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Hottest ticket in town, at least for today, Bill. Thank you. All right, right now on click2houston.com, we have what you need to know if you want tickets to this year's rodeo concerts. You'll find the story on our homepage. All right, more evacuations from China due to the coronavirus.
Coming up, what the CDC will do regarding those evacuees, including some coming to Texas.
And the dangerous moments like this one caused by severe weather in the southeast part of the country.
And getting a live look at our TransStar City Cam at the southbound lanes of the North Freeway at AirTax, an accident involving 3 vehicles. The left shoulder, left lane, and center lane, they were closed off this area. Looks like the traffic is now moving. Hopefully they were able to get that cleaned up quicker than they expected, but it looks like everything's moving in that direction.
You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
This is what's left after severe storms slammed parts of the southeast. In northern Georgia, the roof was ripped off this home and debris sent to the other side of the yard. A home in Leake County, Mississippi may have been hit by a tornado. The National Weather Service is expected to survey the area to determine whether indeed a tornado caused that damage.
A scary moment at the height of yesterday's storm in the Atlanta area. A tree came tumbling down right on the highway. Watch the right side of the screen. Dash cam video from a Dunwoody police cruiser shows the tree come down right on top of a gray vehicle. Thankfully, nobody was seriously hurt. There you can see it fall right there. Other cars were able to steer around that tree.
That is scary stuff. And rush hour traffic, my goodness.
Man,
Yeah.
they're lucky no one was killed.
They really are.
That's tough stuff.
Especially when you move fast.
And that's good to remind people that those storms can come here because we're like, oh, it's going to snow, and that kind of storm can be much tougher in other parts of the country, and was.
Sure.
But we did get a little bit of winter stuff in San Antonio. We had a little sleet here and there.
Yeah, I think I heard it actually around midnight or so.
Not that long. But over our sister station in San Antonio, they have click to pins also.
Okay.
I think they call it click 4 pins.
Oh, that palm tree is like,
look at that. And this little guy's like, yes.
Is it?
Dip and dive.
It's like a snow cone.
That too. So it's good for them. In the meantime, we had this sort of reddish, dirtyish kind of stuff coming down.
On our cars.
Vehicles, that's right, yeah.
So I'm going to talk more about it coming up in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And explain just what happened there. But if you had some of that, go to my Facebook page and send me a picture or put it on Click to Pins. In the meantime, tree was high for pollen counts. Ozone watch tomorrow, but that's because we're going to see tons of sunshine, and that's one of the ingredients, just like we're seeing now. A lot of sunshine out there. The winds are going to calm down. They're not now. That's why we don't have an ozone issue now. They'll calm down by tomorrow. So that, along with the sunny skies, ozone problems. 27% the humidity, dew point 19. Look at Galveston. Beautiful shot there. Folks walking along a cold beach, but it is breezy. 54 with a 22-mile-an-hour wind. So upper 40s, low 50s everywhere you look right now. No big changes from the afternoon. We've had that pretty much all day long. But the dew point, that's impressive. Teens and 20s. That just gives you an idea of how dry it is out there. 29, 27, 26%, 21% humidity in Columbus. There's the wind, 24. And gusting to 32, 33, 31 miles an hour. It's going to continue to be breezy. Here's a look at the futurecast for the winds. This is what we have going on right now. It will continue through this evening, but by the time we get to 7, 8 o'clock, it'll calm down. And certainly by 10, we're right at 3 miles an hour. Overnight, looking for 4, 5, 6 mile an hour winds. So that will calm down, and that is what will allow the temperatures to drop to freezing. Conroe and Livingston, 36 at Bush, 40 downtown, 38 at Hobby, 36 at Katy. I guess if there's good news, we rebound to 70 tomorrow, so at least lots of sunshine will help that. There's the system continuing to move on out of here. High pressure's in place. So a nice weekend start. Friday and Saturday all look pretty good. I did have some rain Saturday, have taken it out, but Sunday we get into chances for rain, and this front, it just won't get out of here. And so it's just going to be a focus for the chance of rain, and another one coming in Wednesday, continuing pretty much every day next week. We get into a pattern where some of this rain could add up. So it's going to be worth watching carefully next week. Just stay weather aware. You can see this red area. That's 3 inches of rain all told, but maybe as much as 4 across the area. And when it starts adding up like that, it doesn't take much on one single day to cause problems. So next week will be one to keep an eye on. In the meantime, enjoy what we have now. It's cold. I know a lot of you love the cold. I've got 42 at 9, 39, 38, 37 as we go to 36 and even colder overnight. Perfect hair cast. Here then we start your weekend. Tomorrow 70, 72 on Saturday. The Roughnecks will be playing, and then also the Sabercats will be playing on Saturday. And the Galveston Marathon is on Sunday. Just a 20% chance of rain on Sunday. So all in all, a pretty nice weekend. Then we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 30, 40, 20, 30 on Valentine's Day. Even next weekend, 20 and 40. So that's a warmer week in the 70s and 60s for highs and lows, but not a sky perfect week by any means. We're just going to have to keep an umbrella handy and go day by day as to what kind of rain chances we really expect.
Yeah, winter at bay again.
Yes, sir. I know. You enjoy winter? You got one more morning.
Yes, I know. That 1 minute we had.
He has like his blanket and his coats. He's like, this is not why I live in Houston. No, I like it though. It's nice to see the sunshine after a few days of gray.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I like cold weather for like that long.
We'll take a little bit.
Then I'm done.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Frank, thank you. All right. Coming up, is it possible to be born kind? How early in life a person can show that they're willing to share with others?
And the potential health risk now linked to a diabetes drug.
On NBC.
Topping our health headlines, new evidence about heart problems linked to a drug used to treat diabetes.
A new study from Yale found that Avandia was associated with 33% increased risk of a cardiovascular event. Since 2007, there have been conflicting findings about whether the drug increases the risk of heart attacks. The FDA even imposed strict limits on the use of Avandia and then reversed the decision after 3 years.
A new study suggests all women should know the symptoms of high blood pressure after giving birth. Scientists from the University of Texas looked at more than 160 women who were hospitalized with postpartum hypertension. They found nearly 40% of the women had no prior history of high blood pressure. Because untreated hypertension can be dangerous, experts say all new moms should be educated on the symptoms before being discharged.
Well, it turns out being kind and selfless can start very early in life.
Scientists at the University of Washington found that it can actually start when you're a baby. In the study, they put fruit in front of babies to see if they would give it to a total stranger without being asked. More than half of them did. Of course, there are questions about whether or not the kids were really hungry or if they were just trying to be helpful. But here's something interesting. The kids who gave up their fruit often had a sibling or were taught to be giving.
And then you introduce toys. Mine,
yes,
mine.
Yep.
All right, change is coming to Amazon. What the company plans to do about the vans they use to deliver your orders. Amazon is going electric in a big way. It is developing 100,000 custom electric delivery vans. The vehicles will include features like automated emergency braking and automatic warning system that detects distracted driver behavior and built-in Alexa integration for drivers to ask for help or use voice commands for packages. Amazon expects to start using the electric vans next year. It plans to have 10,000 on the road as early as 2022 and using all 100,000 by 2030.
Ford is unveiling the 2020 GT supercar today.
Yeah, it could easily be confused for the Batmobile.
Yeah.
The new GT now has a whopping 660 horsepower engine.
Wow.
And two unique options in appearance. The liquid carbon features GT's carbon fiber body that is fully exposed and a restyled Gulf racing heritage that pays homage to the 1969 Le Mans version.
Looks pretty stealthy if you ask me.
Yeah.
United Airlines is taking steps to speed up the training of new pilots.
Coming up, the new flight academy that could lead to more opportunities.
And a new shoe designed to help runners during a race. What Nike is now saying about the release of this controversial footwear.